Hey everybody, and welcome back to the DecompresSean cast. Yes, that's right, after 8 months. Episode 18. With me today, I have some very special guests. I have the big bueno himself, Eleazar.
It's me, the big bueno.
He's big, he's bueno, he's good. And also joining us, we have Kajoro Bitterthorn.
Hello.
Oh god, such a pause.
What I wanted to say is that
No, I was taking a sip. That's why there was a big pause. Did the sip not come in the recording? Shit!
no, I was taking a quick nap, sorry guys. A little tidbit of information inside baseball is that when I was 8 in the PCP, whenever there was an episode that either was Ben alone or started with Ben alone, he would sing with himself. I don't know why. He would say 1, 2, 3,
That's
sing.
good deep lore.
Like just by himself. I don't know why, but he did it.
Man, I never did that. That's an interesting strat.
It's a lonely strat.
Shit. Okay, guys, you're on the SliferSean channel. What do you want the people to know? What's up? Who are you people? How do I know you?
Kajoro?
Oh boy.
Should they know?
They don't need to know. They can piece it together.
We're just good friends with Sean.
Go through my lore.
We've left breadcrumbs all across the YouTube lands.
Yeah, I think in the Sean iceberg lore, we're like right at the top, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, assumably. I mean, are we above water, I guess?
Yeah. I used to edit the PCP, and Kajoro's and used to watch the PCP.
And then we joined a funny...
Is there more than that?
And we all used to be part of the ProAnon cast.
Yeah.
Which is no longer a podcast, but we still all hang out together.
Most of us.
Because we're friends and we don't need to do a podcast.
Yeah.
Boom.
For the most part, yeah. That's how it be. We all donated to a quirky Kickstarter, and now we're here. Shenanigans ensued.
Yes. I was going to say we donated to a quick Kickstarter.
Not me.
Oh, not you, right.
Yeah, I got money from the PCP. I never gave.
And then we all became friends and now we hang out all the time.
You know, what we do have in common, Kajoro and I, is the seeing your growth, Sean. And the whole Sean story arc. And the interesting place that it is right now, which is in an upward movement.
Job.
Yeah.
A little ways into the PCP arc, I hit that classic shonen low point where the arc was wrapping up, and I needed to find my next battle. And that's kind of what I've embarked on like this year is like the next phase, I guess some might say.
Oh, what phase were you like in the last decompression cast?
In the last decompression cast? I mean, it was like...
Yeah.
It was like right before everything started popping off, so I was like, yeah, guys, I got a job. That's where we left off last time.
Yeah, we can't do Discord sounds in this since we're using Audacity, but we have many soundboard sounds for this.
But yeah, I mean, that was... If we want a little, like, recap, I guess, I don't know, or something.
Yeah.
Let's see. Last time it was like...
Yeah, where did you leave off, Sean?
Let's check the notes.
Were you like homeless or something?
Got a job. Didn't have my license yet.
Oh.
I made a video saying that I don't really make videos. I don't really make videos anymore. That was something I brought up last time.
The classic, yeah.
Hey guys, sorry I haven't made a video in a while. Last time, because it was also a while between the last one and the previous one, it was just another like recap meme of like, dang guys, character arcs and stuff. Here's a bunch of media I finished, lol. Man, I said, hey, I really like D&D, guys. And that's where we were 8 months ago.
Oh yeah.
I still didn't have a new phone. My grind set wasn't fucking real back then. And then I talked about other stuff. somber mood, feelings, shit, sincerity, bro stuff. But also One Piece is amazing. Lamau. Things that I'll probably bring up again.
I propose doing the compression cast because it seems like you've reached, in a good way, a plateau. Like you have reached like a routine
Yeah.
and a good, like all the, you reap what you sow, Sean.
Leveled
You
up.
sow good stuff.
Powered up.
Yeah. And we need to let the people know that.
I shifted my points, my ability scores.
As we say in crypto price charts, you've reached a new local high. You've broken out of the range. You had a huge pump.
Yeah, literally, figuratively.
But we're going sideways now, but it's good because it's all-time high.
Is there any lingo for when you lose all your money?
Yeah, it goes straight to zero.
Crash.
You're fully wrecked.
Remember.
That's the lingo.
Remember, title of this podcast is "We Are So Back."
We are so
we're
back.
we're
There you go.
we're ramping up, right? We're ramping up for the bull
We've never
run,
been more back than this, Sean Bros.
basically. And yeah, like most of those things that I brought up too are pretty much to just say that they've all been fucking dealt with. They've been fucking accomplished, right?
Yes.
License, got. New phone, got. Fucking bunch of other shit.
D&D ended.
Media consumed. D&D over.
Bleach halfway. Job acquired. Promotion acquired. Gymming in progress.
Steins Gate finish.
Steins Gate
yeah.
finished without dropping.
Yeah, real quick. Gunbuster, Diebuster, still a 10 out of 10.
Yep.
Haruhi, 9 out of 10 for me. It was very good.
Yes.
Steins Gate, maybe like a 6.5-ish, something like that. It was a little overhyped for me.
I would say a little.
First half was a little rough. As we all know, the infamous meme. It was a Zack Death 10 out of 10 and a no need bruh.
Favorite.
What, 9 out of 10?
No, he said favorite. He didn't give it a number.
So a real life 5 out of 10.
You know, I wonder if Rito's seen the anime because I think that is one of the ones like he's like I won't watch it because I'll just play the visual novel, which is interesting. Also, I totally forgot to post this and like at them about it. A guy in Japan went to jail for like recording the like playing Steins Gate or something. Let me find the exact tweet.
What?
No way.
Yeah. It was like. Sorry, violating copyright or something. Let me see.
Like he just, well, how does that work? Like he just film, like you can't like make a let's play on it, or how does that work?
Something like that, like for visual novels, because it's so, because seeing it is the gameplay. You posting like a whole let's play is like I can just watch it. I don't have to buy the game. Like let me find the exact thing.
Yeah,
That does make sense. Like, what am I missing? Clicking?
Yeah, that's all you miss.
That is another thing that started while Kajoro's looking for the anime club, the anime boys.
Yeah, we just figured.
What did we start with?
Hey, we all show up.
Yeah. What did we start with Haruhi?
No, we started with Gunbuster, Diebuster, because you hadn't seen Gunbuster, and I had not, and both of us hadn't seen Diebuster. And we were like, yeah, let's watch that.
Yeah. That was a 10 out of 10. 10 Haruhi, 10 Steins Gate.
And we would anyway like be hanging out in the call, like you guys night, my morning, and we're like, there's got to be something better we can do with our time than looking at Instagram.
Yeah. Yep.
And it was true.
We decided to watch anime and learn and grow together.
Yeah.
Guts and motivation, hard work, procrastinating, and fucking time travel, gentlemen.
Yep.
Yes.
And time looped.
Endless 8. Steins Gate.
Sean, do you care to tell us about how you feel in your routine? How's the grind set feel?
Good and bad. It's like the creeping thoughts in the back of my head, the things that haunt me at night are like more prevalent because I'm like, God, I want to make videos and shit. I want to finish what I fucking started.
Yeah.
Right? That's like something that that annoys me as a person.
The money versus the time.
Versus the artist.
Necessary evil of the wage cage.
Yep.
It's like, fuck. Money good. more freedom and independence be good, but time. I've transitioned into that second stage of the life meme. You guys know, it's like stage 1 you have time and energy, but no money. Stage 2 you have, what is it?
Money and
Or is
energy,
that
but
even
no
that?
time, something like that.
Yeah, and then
Stage
stage 3 you
three,
have time and money, no
but no
energy.
energy.
Getting a job and getting into a routine. I'm basically in stage 2 now, like effectively.
Yeah, that's why you gotta do drugs.
No.
Ah, I found it.
Let's see.
He found it.
Maybe we can put it on the screen in the video, I guess.
I usually don't edit these, but I can always
Just copy the link in the description.
spice it up.
More guests, more work.
Shinobu Yoshida was found guilty posting a Let's Play of Steins Gate, My Darling's Embrace, sentenced to 2 years in prison, suspended for 5 years, and a 1 million yen fine. It's the first time someone has been found guilty of copyright infringement by posting gameplay videos. September 7th. Interesting.
1 million yen. Oh, how much is that?
He's comparing.
6,683 US dollars.
Ooh.
Dang, that kind of sucks.
Wow, the yen is tanked super hard.
And Argentina is dealing yen, which I know.
Not like this, bros. Not like this.
I don't like this. Anyways, do you know that story shown after the businessman and the fisherman? And
Sounds familiar.
there's a fisherman just every day he goes out to fish by himself. And then there's the businessman who works 24/7 all day. And in his head, it's like, oh yeah, when I grow old, I want to acquire all this money. So when I'm old, I can go fishing every day by myself. While the fisherman is already doing it. I often think about that.
I get it. Yeah, it is a bit of a meme, isn't it? Like, planning for the future and shit. Like, sometimes it can be really rewarding and good, and sometimes it's like, well, shit, I was really wasting my time, wasn't I? Because XYZ, or...
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
cringe Christianity is like, don't do sin so you can gain salvation when you go to heaven. And then Buddhism is like, enjoy the present, my man. Just enjoy now. Now!
Yeah, kind of true.
Isn't that true, Kajoro? Please validate me.
It's sort of. Yeah.
Because I feel like talking about Hinduism with an Indian man here, I feel stupid.
Because that is like broadly true. Like the idea of like living for the afterlife versus like there's no afterlife, all of it counts. Like it's just, new soul, like same soul, new body, new life, you keep going. It's kind of like
Yeah.
it's kind of in the similar vein. I remember that Sadhguru clip where someone asks him about like work-life balance, and he's like I hate that. It's like I don't like that term, work-life balance. It's like it makes no sense. It's like,
There's just life.
it's all life.
Yeah.
All the working is life, all the eating is life, all the sleeping is like you're doing life and nothing else. So if a whole huge chunk of your life is like such a burden that it's or you don't like it so much that you don't count it as part of life, like what does that say about your life as a whole?
Yeah.
That's
what happened to me with university, because I'm in a career that's very like
demanding, competitive.
No, it's like it's very recent. I don't remember how recent it is. Maybe like 8 years or something. Compared to all the classical music. For all the audience out there, I study in a music university, and I study like doing music with computers. So like the classes that are specific to my career are really like what I like and what I like to focus on. But in the plan for my career, I also have a bunch of like other classes that are about like classical and music from 100 years ago that I don't like that much. So I have like the classes that I really like and the classes that I have to struggle with.
Sure.
Yeah, man.
And right now, like
Necessary evils.
yeah, right now, like I was saying, like the anime boys are going to take a hiatus for like 2 or 3 weeks because of exam season,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not going to enjoy life. I'm going to become a fucking robot, just sleeping 4 hours, waking up, computer, work, going to sleep, and that's that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man. I'm gonna be right there with you soon. Don't you worry. Next month I have some night shift coverage.
Ooh.
So
How many hours will be in how many hours in a day will that be?
So it's going to be 3 days out of the week, but it's 13 and a half hours
God
per day.
damn.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, shit's going to be a little fucked there for anime boys too, but I don't know. One of those weeks is Thanksgiving anyway. I mean, you guys probably don't celebrate, but I don't know. We'll see.
I was thinking like, and sometimes like about this whole thing about like enjoying the present. I think I have a friend who's very like into that mindset, but sometimes it's so easy to say that thinking and those thoughts, but like banalize it and just say like, yeah, live in the present, dude. Yeah, like fuck capitalism, fuck society. Just like convert it into a Facebook quote.
Yeah, you would say that.
With no like deep thinking or like confronting those thoughts to make them stronger, and just turn them into Facebook quotes with a minion.
Society, truly.
Yes, indeed, Sean.
We live in it.
It is true. Kajoro,
Uh-huh.
it's most likely that since last decompression cast you were in the US.
Oh yeah. 8 months ago?
Yeah.
It's close. I don't.
Wait, it's
think-
October. I think 8 months ago, I would have been. Wait, it's 8 months, not 12 months. No, I might have been here, actually.
Oh, would you mind telling the audience?
Oh, right.
What happened?
Dear audience, so I went to the US for college. I went to art school. I'm from India. And I did art school for 4 years, and then stayed another year, and then worked for a year at like a marketing company, and now I'm back in India, and I've decided to completely go a different route. Like I've given up on art pretty much entirely, and I want to go into like software development. So I've been for a year that I've been home, like just self-learning and doing online courses and tutorials and shit, and learning programming. HTML,
Yeah.
CSS, JavaScript, React,
Holy Trinity.
GitHub, all that stuff.
Yep.
You think it's the Holy Trinity, but no, you learn those 3 things and they're like, yeah, okay, but no one actually uses that shit directly. You gotta learn React and this other thing and this other thing we use on top of it.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of you have to be very, very clear on not only what you want, but like what job you're going for, and the path to that, and what they will want. And then you run into I'm going for, so like eventually I want to do like development stuff for crypto. So like I also learned like Solidity and stuff. But that's obviously tougher to get into. It's mostly like people who are already developers for a couple of years, like getting into those. So I'd want to become like a regular like web dev, like a full stack or front end guy. So I'm doing that, but then to become a full stack or front end, like you can learn all the stuff. Like it'll take you a long time, but like even if you do learn all of it and get all the skills, and then make a portfolio and stuff, like it's a lot of competition. And then it's like, oh, but you have no experience. You're like totally new.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
you need like a like smaller role within that, like a stepping stone, before you're like a full like front end dev or full stack dev. And And I found that I got that info and advice from this one YouTube channel, like codingphase.com. I mean, it's just Coding Phase, the YouTube channel, but codingphase.com is the guy's site. But no one else had put it across that way. Like, everyone was like, oh, yeah, you want to be a developer? Just, like, learn this language, learn that language. And every like fucking, you name it, Code Academy, freecodecamp.org, all those, like, they treat teaching you a language. The Odin Project, all of those, they treat teaching you the language in this very, like, broad, like, oh, you should know all of these things and practice this and be able to do all this stuff. They don't teach it to you to, like, a practical end. Like, if this was your job, you would be asked to do this, and can you do it with this programming stuff, which, like, this guy Coding Phase, like, really focuses on. So, like, that was really refreshing. It's just a shame that, like, I got to that advice much later, but now I'm on track. Like, hopefully, like, I'll be making, like, I finished most of, like, the learning and courses and stuff. I'm gonna start making projects and applying to places soon.
That happened to me. I mean, that happened to me with the Odin project because I was in it so much, and I was, like, so enthusiastic about it. And I was, like, a point where it's been, like, a month and a half, and I haven't, like, coded anything. And I'm spending every day fucking learning everything, and I'm not learning shit. So that's what I've changed to Free Code Camp, because everything is taught through examples, and you need to code.
Yeah.
So it is still, like, of course, it's not a real life, but at least it is, like, what you're learning, you're applying to a code, because it was just silly with the Odin project.
Yeah, because they have their little exercises and stuff. That, like I really liked Code Academy that way, because they have, like, they have it set up where you do the code and you see the live thing right there as you do it, and it'll, like, verify if you did it right and stuff like that. So I mean, as a programmer, you need to do a lot of trial and error and be used to that. But when you're learning, you kind of want to learn faster, so that helps a lot with, like, getting stuck and stuff. But yeah, no, like the Coding Phase guy said, it's like they treat teaching you programming like it's collecting Pokemon. Like, oh, here's the whole list. Like, I gotta learn this, and then I gotta learn that, and and that's how I did it. I went step by step. I learned HTML, then I learned CSS, then I learned JavaScript, then I learned GitHub, then I learned, like, I did the whole, and some of the stuff, like React and JavaScript, like, take way longer than HTML and CSS and stuff. But then you get, like, midway through the whole list, and you're like, yeah, I haven't, like, actually
done anything,
built a website from scratch and put it up live yet. Like, at no point was I say made to do that. But
HTML, CSS guys, when they need to host their files, fuck, I need to host my files on a server. How do I do that?
Yeah, I mean, they
don't teach you that shit yet.
Yeah, I mean, it is pretty easy, but yeah, I've never done that. And then I don't know. So now what I'm doing, so the niche I found within front end development is, like, if you, like, he's like, as, like, a stepping stone, like, job thing, you can be an email developer. So with just HTML, CSS, and, like, a little bit of JavaScript, you can, like, do marketing emails for people and companies, and literally everyone needs that shit.
Yeah.
So it's a great way to, like, and pays pretty well. So that's what I'm going for right now.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know, it's just very striking. The way he teaches it is pretty different because of like, I mean, this is not to just shill this guy, but it's just, pretty unique approach.
Yeah, that's fair. I remember my web dev phase. That was good. Going through school, taking the web dev 1 and 2 class. Go ahead.
What made you end up doing like network security stuff and IT, Sean?
Well, I can give you the full story because it all kind of plays into that. So when I started school, my postgraduate fucking community college shit, I was like, I like IT stuff. I like technology. I built a computer in high school. Like,
Right.
what's the deal with that, right? I was like, can I be like a computer engineer or something? And like the prospects were like kind of good for all that shit. And originally, I had actually applied and I was accepted into a university in a different state. But I had kind of figured a couple of things at the time that like I wasn't really ready for that shit. I didn't have my license. I didn't have my own car. None of that shit. I would have, been very limited in my capabilities if I were to move away, and I would be, fucking the bird leaving the nest shit, and I would be far away from safety and fucking security and shit, and also it would cost a lot more. So
Yeah.
I stayed home. I saved money. I went to community college instead, and yeah, I mean, one of the like later courses I got into was like web dev, and I remember it pretty fondly because it was like nights of really grinding it out and like listening to the Kingdom Hearts 3 data fight boss OSTs
Okay.
while doing it. Those are very concrete memories for me, just because like there's just very specific, like I would gather random images from the web and shit, and like make a fucking the web page background would be some Kino Roxas art and shit, and I would be making different elements and divs and shit, and making shit into sections, and changing
Nice.
stuff's widths and resolutions, and
Yep.
headers and tags and blah 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 blah, and is like pretty fun. But what I initially I was initially going for the networking path, right?
Right.
But as a couple of years went by very very fucking quickly, I realized, oh shit, it took too long for me to like take some other like prereqs and stuff, and if I wanted to graduate with like the network specific degree, I would have had to take another year in school, and I was already running a year late, more or less, and I was like, no, I'm just ready to graduate now. I'll just take what's required for like the general degree, right? So I do that. I want to say like it kind of hasn't really paid off, and it kind of double sucks because of the job. I mean, there was no way for me to know this, obviously, so it's not like some big deal, but like if I did take those classes back in the day, and like maybe if I was a little more patient, I probably could have jumped into a better role, knowing what I know now, at least, and like working at the company that I work at. Like oh shit, if I would have like maybe committed, I could be one of these like higher level people. But it's also okay, it's just classes, it's just certs, it's just learning, it's shit I'm just been doing and gonna be doing in my role anyway. So
Yeah.
now I'm in that really comfy spot, and I as funny as it is, even though I got this promotion so like recently, I really don't want to like get complacent, and because I am in like a much more comfy spot, I want to like get some certs, and I want to like actually improve and like maybe go for the higher role or whatever, because that is like even more cozy than where I'm at by like a decent margin. So I don't know, like the things of the past can fucking haunt you as much as they want, but it's like you got to keep moving forward. Nothing's really stopping me now.
I like that.
Other than myself.
That advancement in your job, will you get it like by getting more education, or just like the stare?
Is it just from work experience? Like you've been
just
at
the work experience.
Like if you just do your current role for like a year or something, or two.
A bit of everything.
Okay.
So it's like if I keep doing my current role for a long time, obviously that's good. But what people have been hyping up at my job, from speaking to coworkers and people who are above me and stuff, because I overall speaking, I am like a pretty low rung on the ladder. I'm just in like a very comfy spot because I went from like contract to like actual employee, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm like, I'm working with people who've been there for a hot minute and people who are in higher roles than me and shit. And I'm actually interacting and working with these people within the company, and what they are all hyping up is certifications. That is kind of that's the next stepping stone in theory. If I truly want to like maybe promote into one of these like engineer-esque roles, what they're looking for, or at least what is a big deal to people at my company, is certs, and plays into everything, education.
What do you mean certification?
Like a degree or a certificate, or
So you take a test, right?
Or you pass
Yeah,
a
so
test.
certification or certificate, a thing that says, hey, I took this test and passed. That type of shit. And if, in theory at least, when I go and get some of these things, I will either A, be able to make a good case to like get a raise, if not B, just get like a promotion to the better role, really, eventually. So
Yeah.
and even if those things don't happen and like I get the certs and they like say no or whatever, I can always just take those skills elsewhere. So
Yeah.
in theory,
That is a good thing to like get that certification, so that in any necessity you can move through other jobs and such, not just rely on this one company to keep moving ahead.
yeah, it's true. They haven't treated me poorly at all, so like I'm willing to kind of stick it out with them until until doors are being shut on me, which they haven't been. So we'll see.
Just don't form
That's
personal relationship with the company, Sean.
Lamau.
Don't become Japanese.
Don't become Japanese. Yeah, that's another interesting aspect of like, working, especially if it's like a very big company. Like, do you see a path forward, or do you see a ladder of like, if I work this position 1 year, 2 years, like what would I be promoted to if I were, or whatever? Because so at the marketing company I was working at, it was sort of the same. It was like very cozy, very very easy work, good pay, very reasonable hours. Like, it was a very sweet setup, and it was all remote, even after COVID. I guess it was 2022, so yeah, it was after COVID, but they were still like totally fine remote. But there was not much of a ladder. Like, I recently checked like on LinkedIn, so like I had like 2 coworkers at the same position as I am. One of them left because he got a very different job at a different company, and the other guy stuck it out. And I checked his LinkedIn, and he was promoted to the same, well, not the same position, but the same role, like of like title or whatever, as our boss.
Yeah,
our boss has been around for like 8 years or something. And and I felt like, and it's a very big company, and like I felt like I consistently saw whenever it was like a big role, they were getting someone from the outside and not like promoting their own guys.
Yeah, there's definitely a limit.
And not only were they doing that, it was sort of rubbing people the wrong way there too. Like, people felt a little annoyed about it too. And that's another.
There's a limit for that shit.
Yeah, and that's also why. That's probably why like this, like nowadays, like there's such a like culture of like, 1 year, half a year, just bounce, go to a different company, get the better job. Instead of leveling up within the company, you level up into a different company in a different role and keep bouncing around.
When you say that they were hiring them from another place, do you say like they were hiring them
like they weren't
from another branch of the company, or like from just
outside?
Yeah, right? I think like totally out. Like some were from so the company it's a big company, but it's owned by this gigantic company that owns a bunch of other marketing companies. So 1 or 2 people would be like marketing guys from one of those other companies that the parent company owns, right? So it's like, it's sort of like there's a little bit of synergy there, but like, it's still a different company, different structure, different like
Yeah.
people, work culture, all that. But yeah, I feel like it was mostly either someone totally from the outside or someone.
Just new people.
Yeah, it was always people outside of the company
Mm.
for the most
Mhm.
part. I mean, everyone was super nice. Everyone was really great to work with, all of that stuff. But it's just, I just think with big companies, it's tough and it's too big and you can't be efficient and it's just too many moving parts. Especially, I guess, if it's your first job, that can really turn you off sometimes of like systems or procedures that make no sense, but like, oh no, we just have to do it this way, man.
That does sound so bad for morale.
Yeah, I mean, morale is generally okay, but like, I guess morale around the work itself
But, like,
would sometimes be kind of down.
In terms of prospect.
In terms of prospect, yeah, that was actually like very like contrasting too, because in terms of like morale and prospects, so like the company was doing great. They would do like a live stream once a week with like the CEO and like the very higher up guys, and they would be like, oh, we got this new client, we signed this deal, we got this going on, and like, here's some of our latest work from this team, like shout out to all of them, amazing job, and they'd have them on and they'd say a thing. But like, me down in the trenches,
Me, the knower.
it was like me, the knower. I felt like there was always like people putting out fires.
Yep.
Yeah, always a Greg.
Kajoro, I have a couple stories as well.
When I tell
If-
this,
you can finish.
I mean, I was basically done. It's like, just when I tell this to older people, they're like, "Yep, that is how it is in a very big company. What can you do?" And I said, I guess that's why
Yeah.
people love going to go work for startups and stuff. But that's like the total opposite. It's stressful. You're doing
Control.
everything. It like you have all the control, but it's like it's way more high stakes.
Yeah, that's the word, yeah.
People depend on you a lot,
Yeah,
and you have to be very
for
good.
sure. It's kind of funny how you're talking about this stuff though, because like very similar things are happening where I work as well. Because it's like, for example, right, like one guy on a different team, but like in the same department as me,
Mm-hmm.
he just like sent an email and just said he quit. So,
Yeah, that's another thing. Because the company is so big, it feels like people are quitting left and right.
yeah.
Like all the time. That is also like, I mean, you wouldn't see it so visibly in other people, but it is like a weird like thing for like morale. Like I worked there just shy of a year. A whole bunch of people left and new people came.
Yeah. And the thing about that guy leaving to the guy who just like sent an email and just said he was done one day, it was like, oh shit, there's this position that's open, and like maybe someone from like my department could fill that spot. And people were like, I talked to like a couple of guys who are like in higher spots than me, and they were like, we kind of like where we're at, honestly, and we don't think they could probably get someone else better. And just like you were saying, Kajiro, they went for someone like on the outside.
Yeah.
Someone who's like completely fresh and new, but he just has like some good certs.
Yeah. That's why I'd always be a little bit, I mean, like prior to having a job and stuff, I would be confused right here, like people like Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank or whatever saying like, oh, you gotta be ambitious, man. Like a monthly salary is like alcohol or heroin. It's the third drug, it gets you like, and I was like, yeah, it's like typical like grind set stuff. But like, no, like some of these big corporate jobs, they are like built to massage you into coasting. It's too good and too nice. Obviously, inflation, yada yada. You should be getting a bigger salary as you go in your career, like you keep increasing and all of that. But like, it's like, yeah, it does put you in this mindset of like, do I want more work for more money? Maybe not. Maybe not. Like, well, the answer should be yes. Every time.
Some people are content though. Some people are like, yeah, I've been working this like same job for like 10 years or whatever. It's like,
It's like, what the hell? How?
Where's your motivation?
Yes, literally.
I mean, that's the thing with my job too. Just real fast here. Like I got my initial job at the company, like, during the last, when I fucking recorded the last DecompresSean cast, and then a couple months later, hey, I just saw an email like, hey, there's this position opening up, blah 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 blah. I just took a chance. Like I just took a chance, applied for it, and got pretty fucking lucky. And that's like sometimes that's really all it fucking takes too, just to just take a chance. You ever fucking worst they can say is no, and you're still where you're at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now that you mentioned Kevin O'Leary Kajoro, I found this tweet from Mr. Wonderful. That's very in touch with what we were talking about. It says, you may lose your wife, you may lose your dog, your mother may hate you. None of those things matter. What matters is that you can achieve success and become free. Then you can do whatever you like.
Base? Giga base?
I mean, it's literally the name of the Lonely King. He did everything to achieve power, but whom to share it with?
To what end?
Yeah.
That is the question. That's the question with everything, really.
Next year, talk about like what I'm going to do. Going to cut probably half, maybe more of my classes to just focus on programming. Because this whole music thing, it's very cool. It's not gonna lead me to any job. The myth was the word. I want to say certificate, but no, diploma.
Degree? Yeah, diploma.
Degree. The mid degree is sound design, and I thought that was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get sound design. So
I see.
That's a thing that people can work at. But now that
they don't tell you,
I'm learning D classes. I'm like, oh, like I'm learning how to modify sounds and how to make sounds, but I'm not getting any teaching about like how to apply it in sound design, either for like video games or for shows or for movies, etc., etc.
Damn.
So I'm getting the learning, but not of the actual,
the practicals.
Yeah, the practical thing.
That's school's biggest failing.
That is school's biggest failing.
Yeah, it really is. I think like art schools specifically would be more equipped for things like that. I mean, mine was, but like where they would tailor the work and the projects to be like where you would be doing at like Marvel or Disney or whatever. I studied sequential art, so comics, graphic novels, storyboards, that sort of thing. Like they teach you a bunch of drawing and a bunch of writing stuff. Yeah, it was just like, it was really grueling. It was like a lot of work, but there was so many things about it where like, why is it this way? Like all of our work, like there was almost zero group work, like zero, which makes no sense, because if you work, okay, I get like, they need you individually to have the full skill set and be able to do everything, right? But if you worked for a big comics, if you work for like a Marvel, Disney, whatever, you would be...
That's like the main thing.
You'd have a specific role, like the way Western comics are done. Like you have the writer, and then the guy who does then you have the penciler, and then the inker, and then the colorist, and then the one. Like it's all segmented out. It's like a fucking factory line. And if if one guy takes too long or delays it, like they were very strict with that. Like to mimic industry stuff. They're like, oh, if you're late with your work, it's like there's no like deduction or whatever. It's like you get like one deduction and then you fail.
You lose.
Because
good day, sir.
You lose. Because in comics, like if like one person in the chain delays things, then like the next guy also has less time to work on it, and like you miss a deadline that's like insane, like unacceptable. Like you're fired, a bunch of other people are fired because of you. I guess that's what they told us. Maybe that's how it used to be or whatever.
Fail and deliver late, the professor would just bring a big boot, put it on, and just kick it in the butt and kick them from the classroom.
I don't know, but like broadly, so I don't know, once, because initially it's all about the learning, right? Then when you get towards like when it's about like your career and what you're gonna do and getting a job and all that stuff, then you realize how screwed you're gonna be as an artist, because it's so competitive. The demand is like relatively constant, And like not as much as the supply, like not even close. Like 'cause everyone wants to. Oh, look at my pretty drawing. Ooh, like look what I made. Fucking
Yeah.
like you need to be obsessed and doing it all the time.
Look at this new Pomni hentai I drew, guys.
Yeah, pretty much. And
I don't get that shit.
I don't know what that is either. I was just
Pomni. It's the circus meme. You've
We
seen
watched
that
it,
going around,
Kajoro.
Sure, it's like the
the thing we watched. Oh, this okay.
The main girl
yeah.
is called Pomni.
Oh my god, the people I had classes with would have ate that shit up. They're probably watching it right now.
art people.
Art people.
Fucking
Yeah, that's
sucking it
another
off.
that's another thing. Like I hate art people and artists. That's why I had to quit. Anyway,
But I completely understand not wanting to be in that sphere.
I know, but Eleazar, like where I'm stumbling through the bushes trying to get to is like learning art like in college and wanting to be an artist as a profession stuff like obviously like they would have told you like it's very very hard, but also like if you want to do it for a living, you'll probably have to do a whole lot of stuff you don't want to do and don't enjoy
Yeah.
just to get by or to quote unquote make
Get a
it
fucking whiff.
to get a whiff. And then it's like, like I said, like to what end? Like what is I just sat there and be like, okay, if I worked my ass off and if I was amazing at this and if like I went like totally all out, like what is like the peak here? Like what is the like great, like what is like me being a huge success in this look like? What,
Having a
fucking
million
working
followers on
for
Twitter.
Disney?
Yeah.
Having a bunch of Twitter followers, like working for Disney, having a big Patreon. Like I don't want that life. Fuck that. Fuck all of it. I'm totally fine. And like even when I realized this, I was like I should finish my degree. I'm I'm like almost done,
Sunk cost.
And like I had interesting classes and interesting professors and I learned a lot and yada yada yada. But like I don't regret it, but I also wish I figured that out earlier. Instead of assuming that like, I'll just work harder and get better at this, like getting the assumption that like you getting better at it will make you like it more or make it
Very
quote
rare.
unquote worth it.
Yeah.
It would if that like if I'm good at it, then staying up till like 3 a.m. all the time and like pulling my hair out trying to come up with shit will like be worth it.
Yes, it's not a meritocracy.
You have to
Yeah.
enjoy the process. And that's another reason why I enjoy programming so much, because there is an answer,
Yeah.
There is no wondering and tinkering and like, oh, does it look right? Like, it's like, oh, it's so good. It's like, but,
It's either correct or isn't.
like, there's an answer. There's a very clear objective. You do it and it's done. It's not so up in the air like it is with art, where it's like, and then it get mixed in with like, what you believe versus what other people believe, and then egos and like, oh, I can't do this. I don't want to be a sellout like you, versus like, it goes into like a whole thing. Like I knew people who would be like, because I was doing comics and storyboard and stuff, I knew people who would like kind of be snarky with me because I went into doing marketing stuff to have a job and stuff. It was just like, oh, you learned comics and art and stuff, and now you're doing marketing. Like,
You're not the artist.
yeah, you're not an artist, you're sellout to the capitalism.
Yeah, it's like it's just a job, man.
I need money.
It's just a job.
This is like the essential battle of fucking life.
I don't know.
Oh, it's depressing. It's actually depressing.
It's not like your marketing thing. It's just a job. It's not like you're Greta Thunberg, just like doing an ad for Coca-Cola or something. You're not betraying a huge thing.
Yeah.
We're all cogs in the machine.
And even then, like, I don't like most of the cartoons and comics they make now. I hate the vast majority of it.
Yeah. What about Scott
But also,
Pilgrim?
like, I don't have a strong enough voice or art style or whatever myself as an artist to, like,
have the drive.
combat that or anything. I guess not.
to like have the drive to like I need to say this to the whole world.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like I don't have I'm very convinced like you can't be a good artist unless you have like a relatively big ego. Just the assumption that like what you think and what you feel and your like filter of life is of any significance or needs to be expressed, or like, oh, I got to put this out there, like either for yourself or for other people, like just feeling that is a little narcissistic in and of itself. And if you don't have that, you will be like a copycat hack.
Yeah, and the way I think about it, especially with music, that's more about communication.
Right.
It's like I want to communicate this in the best way possible that you can do with just straight words, and I want that to make you feel good or completely destroy you, so that then you can feel good.
Yeah. And I felt like I didn't have that.
I completely understand. Like you're like it's so funny. What's my goal? Working for Disney, who already is paying badly their animators.
Yeah, that's so
true.
oh my god, that's another giga depressing thing I realized, because it's art school, so like there's this very clear, like, I mean, it wasn't like a big deal, it's just like an observation I made of like, because they would have like people who are going into like fine arts and like gallery stuff versus like art history people who would also, I guess, be in that realm, and then like painting majors, fibers, like fashion, film and TV, video games, comics, interior design, architecture, all this stuff, right?
Mm.
And as you'd imagine, like all the interior design, fine arts, art history people were like your regular Joes straight out of high school. All of like there was a very clear like business boardroom artist versus a basement dweller, a dungeon artist.
Yeah.
And then you look around and you're like, damn, is this this thing like I like comics. I really enjoyed like the stuff I was learning and my professors and all that. But just like this is a kind of a sweatshop art form.
This is it.
It has become.
This is everything.
It sucks.
No more cogs in the machines.
No, that's the thing, Sean. Even if you're not a cog in the machine or whatever, like
You lose.
It's hard.
it's really hard.
It's hard.
And unless you've carved yourself out, like you have to celebritize yourself, right?
Yeah.
Both routes are depressing.
That is the only like all like successful indie artists, indie comic people, like they get it by because they have followers and simps, because they won at e-begging, basically. That is the two routes: sweatshop artist or e-begging,
or the algorithm
on Patreon.
Yeah.
I never thought about celebrity as a verb. That's very useful.
Celebritize.
Yes,
Yeah,
celebritize. Okay, I have 3
Mhm.
things to say about everything. Number 1, I think my position is different, but at the same time similar, because my situation is like I'm studying music that no one pays for. That's like completely done for the art. And also like I'm glad that I'm going through all of this university thing, because I'm being exposed to so much stuff that I keep saying to my friends that if I will need a lifetime to like actually learn it with a capital L, because like I'm being exposed to music from the 18th century up to like now, what's happening currently.
Mhm.
And I think that's really beautiful, but no one's paying for that.
Yeah.
And I also like what you said about the programming thing, because it's like you do the thing and it's correct. There's no like, oh, this music and such an art and such and such and such an abstract.
Yeah.
It's like very
It's good.
it's task oriented. It's the difference between like art and design. Like it's goal directed, task oriented. Like it's entirely like it's more practical and stable and good for career, blah blah blah, because all of it is rooted in like practicality.
Yeah, and
versus like ideas. Go ahead.
What I was going to say is that the other option, because like the main option will be like to make music and celebritize myself and try to like market myself, which I find so disgusting.
Yeah.
And the other option is to be like a like a blue collar musician, be a producer and help people make their songs or mix and etc. And especially after I'm going through university, I don't want to fucking deal with musicians' egos.
Right?
I find it like such a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
So my idea is to just keep music as my hobby, to acquire all this knowledge just for myself.
Yeah. I think there's a very underrated like purity to that, because like we've heard so many examples of like, like I don't know the exact details, but I've heard this sort of offhandedly. Maybe you guys could correct me or something, like Miyazaki and like animators of his generation and stuff, like they weren't artists as a career initially. Like they were like engineers and doctors and other stuff, and in their late adulthood, old age, they got into drawing and art and stuff. And like a lot of Van Gogh took up painting very late in life. Like that's another thing of like being a good artist includes like, life experience and what you know and how you see the world and stuff like that. But if all you know as an artist is art, you're probably not going to make very good art.
Yeah.
Or at least art that won't
Heads in the clouds.
speak to people. Yeah, it's this. What's it called? What's the snake eating its own tail thing called?
Ouroboros.
Ouroboros.
Yes. Yeah, it becomes like that. It becomes this like incestuous, self-referential, like downward spiral.
Yeah, it's just like the drawing thing.
Where like, yeah, like everyone I went to school with wanted to be an artist or an animator because they, they loved Courage the Cowardly Dog and Codename Kids Next Door and all of that. Like that
Super Milk Chan.
inspired them to be an artist with like, but like that is their whole thing. Like their whole deal is, I love animation. I want to be artist. I am bisexual.
Okay.
and they don't know like anything else really, quite frankly.
That's fair. Yeah, that's like
It's like
And the most interesting
fisherman.
ones would be ones who did know stuff like other stuff, like they like they had interesting work experiences, or like they tried out a different career at first and then ended up doing art, or like they had a quote unquote interesting wink family life
Mm.
and they thought they had insights about that which would be interesting to people, and they were stuff like that.
Yeah, I find it so like with the thing we were talking about with the fisherman. Like if I would have to like sell myself to appeal to the audiences, to beg for people to give me money to make music, like I don't want that main goal. I want the main goal to be like I make my music and that's it. No, what's the word? No tricks. Oh yeah, and I like the idea, probably because of the country I live in, but I like the idea of just being like comfortable in a job. And I'm going to give two examples.
Yeah.
Like a month ago, I went to one of our university friends, our class department, and it's just like one room, bathroom, and that's it. He works as what's the guy that works in restaurants that attends people?
Waiter.
A waiter. He works as a waiter. He just does that. He works as a waiter and lives in like a one-room department. And I was like, man, I really want this life. Like it looks so nice. Just a bed,
Really?
kitchen, dishwasher, and then he goes to work, and that's it. I like that life. The other example is my other friend who works in a paint shop, who went to university but dropped out. And he's like living not good. He gets paid poorly. His boss is an asshole. He doesn't have enough money to like do anything. But the point that I want to reach is to be comfortable enough to have that just one room by myself and nothing else. No worries. No ambitions, I want to reach that level first.
Society. We're
Yes.
so fucked.
Yeah, sorry, Sean, we low-key hijacked the Sean cast into
No, you're
No,
good.
we're confronting Sean's
The
thoughts.
art.
We're making him stronger by making him confront.
We're just philosophizing out here. We're discussing the
Yeah, Sean,
the
lesson.
yays and the nays.
If you want, Sean, if you want to do like game design or something artistic, do it for funsies. Do it in
Yeah.
the free time.
It's just true, unfortunately.
It'll take longer, but it'll be kind of better.
That is a lesson of the last several years for sure, as we all know.
Find it so pure, just making art for art. And I always think of the Charlie Kaufman, the writer of Synecdoche, New York.
Yeah.
In an interview, it's like, what?
I know how to finish the podcast.
No, it's like your art is so like complex and so like that you put so much hard work into it. Like, what's your motivation for doing this stuff? And he just said, I just don't want to put garbage into the world. And I felt that in my core.
Yeah, man. I mean,
yeah, there's too much art.
Yes, unironically.
Everyone, stop making art now.
I mean, it's just
so true.
It is quite the oversupply in our modern world.
Yeah.
Like Eleazar said with the waiter guy in the one room, like I think I've learned like from like art school and all these experiences and just growing up, I've learned to understand and appreciate the routine and like, doing the same thing every day. And like,
yeah.
I know for you, Sean, like, I mean, you're working way more hours than I was working at that marketing company, but like just the 9 a.m. to like 5 p.m. you're booked, and then 5 p.m. it's like, oh, what now?
Yeah, the hard out.
Cooks meal, eats it, does dishes, watches one episode of a show or some shit. Well, I guess that's the whole day. I guess I gotta go to sleep and do work. It's like, that could be...
that's me.
Sean gets home from work, eats, watches Bleach or whatever with us, and then goes to bed.
Pretty much.
I fucking remember this TikTok. There's this TikTok I watched like back when I used to watch TikTok. Like a janitor who worked like 12 hours. It's like I work 12 hours, then I come back home, then I watch anime and play video games. I had like video games in one monitor and then an episode of an anime on the other monitor while he was eating. Then I go to sleep, then I wake up,
he was eating.
And then I repeat. He had like the biggest eye bags.
Man.
The pendulum has swung because like, for that year and a half or whatever, it's like, oh shit, I need routine.
Yeah.
And then now that I have routine, I'm like, yeah, routine. And then now that I've been in routine for like 9 months, I'm like, no, I want freedom.
No, Sisyphus.
It can feel like really monotonous being in that routine and like, and the classic wagey living for the weekend, lifestyle. But let me tell you, I've seen from my sister and like experience at college, like, the grass is not necessarily greener on the freelancer chaotic side. Like there is a lot. It's only when you've had a job like that where you can like appreciate the the cushiness and the guaranteed salary, the job security, that kind of stuff.
Yep, it's tough because like right now for me it's like it's nice that I'm working 4/10s, but all that means is like the gap between the cycles is that much slimmer, It's like pluses and minuses, I guess. I mean, I get an extra day, but I feel like lately I've been doing okay in terms of like making the most like out of my weekend, so to speak, and that kind of thing. But I'm still just like occasionally not doing things, or just occasionally like, damn, did I really just like fucking watch YouTube for 2 hours or whatever? It's like,
and the day's over.
Fuck, I need to. I mean, yeah, that too. I always feel that way.
You should quit your job, Sean.
No, I wish I could. No, I'm not in as toxic of a relationship as another individual that we know. Friend of the show, C2OL, getting called out live.
Ooh.
And that's it.
End the podcast.
No context needed. Get wrecked. Lamau. No, I do have Eleazar. You can go off. I just have like a final list to run through at the very end.
Please go ahead.
But if you want to go,
no, I'm good.
You good? Okay. Recaps, things I finished, things I did since last time. Just to wrap this fucking shit all up. Gym 3 times a week. I've been doing it for like the last 2 months or so.
Nice.
Getting big, getting good. I think, like I mentioned probably an hour ago when we started this, I ate ramen, which was fucking loaded, had 3 eggs in it, and also had a little bit of shrimp, potatoes, zucchini and some squash and some carrots. It was like
Nice.
Very nice. Get the zucchini the fuck out of there, and that's a meal.
Honestly, true.
nutritionally diverse.
Squash is a bit
and dense.
questionable too, but all right.
It was all chopped up. It was all,
I got it.
bite-sized. and
Oh,
shit. It was
Sean, I came up with a very funny question.
good. Mhm.
Which is the more grinding, soul squishing routine? The job or Inktober?
Definitely Inktober. With such bad prompts.
I mean, I'm dread Inktober, and I'm so glad it's almost over because it's like a combination of fucking everything this time. It's like kind of questionable prompts. Also, I'm working a bunch, and it's like
No one is in there.
I don't know. You've seen my posts. My drawings are done at like 11 something p.m.
Yeah.
or whatever.
And also all the actual artists dropped out. Fucking cowards.
Yeah, fuck you, Cetol, again. No, but finishing Inktober is gonna be like fucking like dropping a fucking squat off your back, like fucking gym meme.
Yeah, let's not do it again.
Join me.
It's
join
all on
me.
jelly.
I mean, and the other people who didn't join.
I've done it for 3 years in a row. My notebook's almost filled, so maybe once that happens. I think it can only last like maybe 1 more year.
Any more closing thoughts, Sean?
We'll see. Yeah. Shit that happened since last time, really fast. Finished Gundam main trilogy plus Gyakushu no Char. Really good. All that shit, really good. Gundam's pretty based. I didn't even finish all of DMC in the last DecompresSean cast. I was still talking about that shit. DMC, the 3 to 4 to 5 is amazing. It's like seriously like 10 out of 10. Some of the best action shit.
Yep.
I still want to actually finish my DMD, Dante Must Die, Virgil run. I still need to finish that on 5. Hopefully I'll do that sometime soon. We'll see.
Yep.
Yeah, also Hades 2, when? FF16, amazing. Got a PS5 since last time. Fucking Lost, 10 out of 10. Fucking great show. We should fucking watch Lost. Kajoro would love Lost. I know it. Eleazar would probably be okay with it.
It seems very silly. Is there like a guy with a white robe who's like, I'm God, and the other guy with a black robe who's like, I'm the devil?
It's a little more complicated than that, but yes, there is a man in white and a man in black. That is 100%. I guess the last thing that I had, I don't know, you guys can probably pipe in on this as well, but like, especially after today, ProAnon is, quote, fractured but whole. Many members stagnating and debating big life decisions / movements. What do you guys think about that?
What the fuck? Why are we fractured?
I don't know what that means.
Fractured like when you when your bone cracks?
No, just
You're
like
saying we're cracked,
I don't know.
Eliza. You gotta take
We're
this
split up.
slander lying down.
we're still all friends and shit. But
Yeah.
we're
I
split
like you both.
How are we
between
split?
servers,
I like you both.
clicks.
I love you
and
both. I won't say anything else.
We're split geographically, that's for sure. Holy shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
Felt like it was a build up, fuck. How do we put this in a good meme? Like a training arc. I feel like ProAnon has been on like a training arc in the last year or so. Like we're all ramping up into shit, right? Like
I guess
Shinny's
so.
Shinny's gonna graduate, Eleazar's gonna graduate, Kajoro, you're gonna get something soon. You're gonna get a job soon.
Please, God.
Jelly promoted recently.
I think our life are changing. I don't know if it's ramping up. It just changes.
Zach's moving, no needs moving.
Oh, that is a big huge thing. No need.
Oh,
moving to
Zach's
Canada.
moving? What the fuck?
When is Zach not moving?
Unless he was going to Japan, wasn't he? Or was that a beam?
What the fuck? Zach's going to Japan.
I don't know if that's still a thing. I haven't bothered to ask.
He's going there on holiday. Like what you said he's moving. Where's he move? Oh wait, you don't have to say the location.
I have no idea.
Is he
I heard this
moving
from someone
state?
else. It's hearsay.
You know, I'll be like inclined to cut this, but at the same time, we fucking have no idea when Zach is lying or not. So
Yes, literally yes.
it's
true.
literally
It's
meaningless to
true.
leave this in or cut it out.
We'll see. I mean, am I not gonna edit this? I mean,
We'll see.
I'm doing thumbnail. I mean, I know you want to do audio,
I'll do the audio.
sound stuff, but editing
I think that's it.
enough.
I think we are.
enough.
Because now we're doing inside outside baseball.
Yeah, I think it was a good conversation. You know,
And I really need to pee.
a typical 20s conversation, but nevertheless a good one.
Hell yeah. You know what that means. We'll see you next time in 9 months on the DecompresSean
Bye
cast.
bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.